Hey guys, here we are with another market update for you. So there's some news that just recently came out and we're here to share it with you. But first, I'm Steve Gonzalez.
And I'm Rose Gonzalez with the Gonzalez Real Estate Team. Hey, if you're new to our channel, make sure to give a little love to that subscribe button and click on that notification button so you can be the first to know about what's happening with the real estate market or what's going on here in Northern California. So
stay tuned too. We also have a series coming out called Living in Northern California. It's pretty exciting. A little teaser. We go to restaurants, gyms, and other places all around Northern California. So stay tuned for that. But today's topic is we have some news that just came out.
Yeah.
So anything you want to talk about, Rose?
Yeah, so as you guys know, we've been following inflation and CPI, and our number one goal is for us to be able to give you guys information as far as what's going on in the market, and things are actually changing. And if you guys are following us, you know, we talked about some of the deals that you can get in 2023, which was what we were seeing with our clients. And then all of a sudden, come like middle of January, all these buyers are coming out and we're starting to see busy open houses and whatnot. Well, as you guys know, the feds have been increasing interest rates, and not so much mortgage rates, but rates when it comes to, you know, buying a car, credit cards, home equity lines. So the Fed increasing those rates is impacting those kinds of consumer debt.
Yes.
And so there was a meeting today, and Jerome Powell actually announced that there's going to be a quarter rate hike for February, and there will also be another one in March. So both February and March are estimated to be about a quarter for both months. But one thing that was really important that he said was that things are going to start to ease up a little bit after that. So they're going to start slowing things down. And that made a huge impact on the 10-year bond. So the 10-year bond went down, and we looked at interest rates today, and they were below 6%. So we actually hit a 5.99% on interest rates. So, you know, that can do a lot of things with the real estate market. Obviously, going from, you know, a little bit below 5%, a little below 6% versus 7% is a big difference for people, right? And that's just a conventional type loan. FHA and VA loans are probably in the low fives already. But what I'm hearing from our lenders is, you know, if rates went down to 5%, they could probably get another $50,000 to $70,000 of buying power for the buyers.
And you know what? I think when we ripped the Band-Aid off, raising these rates so high, let's face it, we were spoiled.
Yes, absolutely.
Rates to go in that low and stay pretty low for years.
Yeah.
That was the new norm, but it's never been the norm before. Let's rewind back to 1980 when they peaked out at 20%. Oh my God. There's a lot of people during that time that got 15% interest rates, up to about 20. Some people that would die and love to have a 10% interest rate. And then we got into like the 2005-ish area where, you know, we were getting a little bit below 7s and 6s, but there's a lot of people in those interest rates, and those were decent interest rates.
Yeah.
And then we got into the 4s, and then the 3s, and then the high 2s. Yeah. Well, what does that do? That creates such a frenzy in the market because you could purchase property now for such a low interest rate. You know, so many people jumped on that.
Yeah. Well, there was like an analogy that I heard somewhere. It was like if you're going on the freeway going like 100 miles an hour.
That's fast.
That's super fast,
I never
right?
do that. I don't do that.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's, you know, a cop over there. So you like kind of halt and then go like 60 miles an hour. Doesn't that difference between 100 miles an hour to 60, you feel like you're going super slow now?
Yes.
So that's kind of like what happened. Like when rates were like in the 2.8, 3.5%, people were going like FOMO crazy, like buying houses, just, you know, everything was pretty much like low interest rate for everything, right?
Throwing money. All cash, no contingency. Right. I don't care. I don't even need to look at the property.
I mean, I actually posted a video on Instagram where I was talking about how crazy the 21 market was, and someone posted on there that like they lost an offer with $500,000 over asking. I mean, who wants that kind of market again, right? So now we're just coming back into like a normal market.
Well, you rip the Band-Aid off, and I think that creates what they wanted to do. They wanted to slow it down and bring inflation down, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
But they want to raise it a couple more times, but they're seeing the improvement.
Absolutely.
And so Jerome did say we're going to do it a couple more times, but we do see the improvement. We might start slowing things down. And the bond responded, and the markets responded well to that as well. Yeah. What we're seeing now is I think people are coming to light that, you know, we were spoiled, and interest rates in the 5s are pretty good. And today they got, you know, we could get high 5s right now or low 6s.
Yeah.
That's a very decent rate, and we're starting to get used to that again.
Yeah.
So when you go from 2 3/4 to 7, that's a huge jump. But then,
well, it's also a combination of stuff, right? It was like there was so much fear based in the media, like 7%, it's gonna go up to 10%, and the bubble is gonna burst. I mean, we were just
worst
seeing
real estate
so much
crash in history.
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly. So
we're going into recession.
Everybody just kind of took what the media was telling them and just kind of sat on the sidelines. But as more and more data comes out and we have more background and we're able to express like what's really happening on our side, people are seeing that more. A lot more people in our industry are speaking up a little bit more about the market. And so it's giving people light at the end of the tunnel that we're not going to have a real estate crash. There's not going to be a wave of foreclosures, that if you sit on the sideline, a year down the road, you may actually be missing out because all the other buyers are going to snag up all the houses. We still have a lack of inventory. So.
And that being said, even with the lack of inventory, with the slowdown, prices did come down. There are a lot of deals out there, and I think people were on the sidelines, especially during the holidays. Yep. But with inflation coming down, rates starting to come back down, holidays out of the way, man.
People are back out.
Listen, we've been busy, but I ask everybody in the industry that I come across, how's it been? And I'm talking people in different states as well. We have a pretty big network on Instagram, and we network with a lot of realtors throughout the country. What we're hearing right now is they're busy as well.
Yeah.
Open houses with our colleagues in our office, open houses are full. When we're showing buyers, we're talking to a listing agent, open houses are full. Yeah. We're even getting multiple offer situations again.
Yeah. And you know, we're not saying that it's going to get back to 2021. It never
I
is
hope
going
it doesn't.
to be. Yeah.
I hope it doesn't.
It's not. This is more like a reasonable market. Like in 2019, before the pandemic happened, we were kind of in this space where, you know, there were multiple offers. I mean, I remember I had a client who was a firefighter, and she would be at the fire department for 3 days at a time. So we couldn't go show properties, but properties were flipping, you know, pretty good. And so I would have to go out and show video to her so that she wouldn't miss out. And so that's kind of where we're heading right now, is where it's still a good market because inventory's low, but it's not like the craziness that we were having in the 2021 market, because that was just unheard of.
This is a healthy market.
Yeah.
So if you have a house to sell, you know, the inventory is still low. People are out right now. And if you're a buyer, interest rates have come down a little bit, and we've talked about different programs to get you even lower interest rates, but also there's some deals out there. Because let's face it, the houses were flipping so quick that now if your house sits on the market for 2 weeks, you start to freak out and you might lower the prices. And builders are lowering prices. But the news we're getting from builders now is, listen, we're kind of going to stop and see where it's going, because December was actually pretty busy and January is starting to be busy too. So we're not going to lower prices anymore. We're going to see what happens. Yeah. And we keep going to these builders a few times a week.
Yeah.
And they're saying the same thing, like we're selling, and I'm seeing people walk through models. You know, there's a few months I was like, man, it's kind of dead right now, and prices are coming down.
And then I think it was last week, there was like 5 cars in front of one of the
people going through models on a Thursday. I was like, all right, but houses are being sold. This is good news, you know. It's a good time. We're very optimistic, and we have been. If you listen to our channel, we're a little bit biased, but we like to just really listen to the experts that are gonna
who actually have data around
pull out data, pull out charts, and really break it down. And you're like, okay, we're going into a recession. Oh, but there's only been one real estate led recession out of 9, and that was in 2008. And we all know what created that recession. It was the loans that we were getting.
Loans.
But all the other ones, there was never a real estate crash.
Real estate and mortgage actually got better because of that. So
you just don't think of that, and you don't hear that stuff.
Yeah.
And you hear, oh shoot, 150% increase in foreclosures.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's and we talked about that in a video as well. It's because they lifted the moratorium that they put in place for COVID-19. We all know that they were not letting houses foreclose. That was part of the thing they wanted to do to get us through the COVID crisis, and we got through that, and so they lifted that. And what's going to happen if you go from 0 foreclosures to a normal foreclosure, and it was still lower than 2019, but let's do that, it's going to skyrocket.
Yeah,
but they're making it sound like, oh, the market's crashing and look at foreclosures.
Yeah.
So we just
I mean, we're gonna see them. It's normal part of real estate, right? But one thing that they're doing is they have new programs coming out. We always talk about the 2-1 buy down, you know, where you could get low rates and refinance out of that when rates go back into the low 5s. You know, I'm hearing that it'll go back in the low 5s, maybe even 4.5s. I'm not sure. But they do have a new program for first-time home buyers that I'm super excited about. I know some people may not like it, but they do have programs for a first-time home buyer with 3% down. And I believe it's conventional, and they're saying that they're going to honor it as if you were a non-first-time home buyer with, you know, 20% down, 800 credit score. So that's,
they'll give you that interest rate that someone with a 20% down and a good credit score, they're going to give them kind of the same options with having 3% down. Their first-time home buyer, they're going to treat them like
a non-first-time home buyer.
Cool.
And one thing with that though is like you cannot be over the 100% median income, and each county has their own median income.
How can they find that out?
We'll put the link below to that, but there's also, like, you know, there's different areas like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, San Francisco, all that stuff. They have their high balance areas where, like, they have more inflated prices, so the median income for those are higher than, you know, like the some of the different areas as well. So we'll put that link below. So there's a bunch of different things happening. You know, there's a lot of opportunity out there still. Things are definitely picking up, but you know, be resourceful during this time, because you can find opportunities out there, but if you don't put your head out and look for it and ask the right questions, or find resources like us who'd be willing to help, you know, you just never know what's out there. So don't always listen to the media, don't always listen to the bad news, and be optimistic, because what you focus on expands. And if home ownership or selling and buying a bigger home is your goal, anything's possible. You just have to really look for the right resources to guide you there.
So guys, hope you guys found this helpful, useful. Comment below. What are you guys hearing out there? What do you guys think?
Where do you guys think interest rates are going to be? Do you think it'll go down to 5
Is it going down? Is it going up? Are we
$4.50?
crashing? Are you guys seeing kind of what we're seeing?
Yeah.
Activity in real estate market has definitely picked up this month. Are you guys seeing the same thing? If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You could DM us, email us, leave a comment. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
Again, if you're new to our channel,
We gonna do it? That's our thing.
make sure to give a little love to that subscribe button.
So our son, he's like, you don't do that. You gotta say, you gotta smash the like button. But our thing is give a little love. So you guys give a little love out there. Cool?
All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Catch you on the next one.
Bye.